The Smiling Woman of Hollow Creek, American Urban Legend. Don't forget to subscribe, because the story you're about to hear is not just a legend. In some parts of America, people still refuse to talk about her after midnight. America, 1970s. The 1970s were a time of progress in the United States. New highways were being built. Suburban neighborhoods were expanding. People believed the country had moved past old superstitions. Ghost stories, spirits, and urban myths were considered nothing more than childish fears. But in a small town called Hollow Creek, Illinois, something terrifying reminded people. That evil doesn't disappear. It only waits. When fear took over the town, it started quietly. Children began going missing on their way home from school. Playgrounds were suddenly empty by sunset. Parents stopped letting their kids walk alone, even during the daytime. Police had no leads, no signs of struggle, no weaknesses, except for one disturbing detail. Every missing child had mentioned the same thing. A woman, standing alone on the street, wearing a mask. The woman with the white mask. Witnesses describe her as calm, almost polite. She wore a long beige coat, white gloves, and a surgical mask covering the lower half of her face. She didn't chase anyone. She didn't scream. She simply stopped people, usually children, and asked a single question in a soft, gentle voice. "Do you think I'm pretty?" A question with no right answer. It sounded harmless. Most kids, noticing her beautiful blue eyes, nervously smiled and said, "Yes." And that's when everything changed. Slowly, the woman would reach up and pull her mask down. The face behind the mask asterisk. Her mouth was torn open. From ear to ear, it looked as if someone had sliced her face open with a sharp blade. Her teeth were always exposed. Her lips hung loose. Dark, dried blood stained her skin. Then she would ask again, "What about now? Am I still pretty? No matter what you say, UD." If the victim said asterisk yes again, she would pull out a large pair of surgical scissors and cut their mouth open to match her own. Most bled to death within minutes. If they screamed no, she killed them instantly. There was no escape. There was no correct answer. The origin of the Smiling Woman asterisk. Eventually, an old story resurfaced. In the early 1960s, a woman named Margaret Hale lived in Hollow Creek. She was known as the most beautiful woman in town. She loved attention. She loved being admired. Her husband, Captain Robert Hale, served in the U.S. Army and was deployed overseas during the Vietnam War. While he was gone, Margaret grew lonely, and loneliness led to betrayal. The night everything ended asterisk. One night, Captain Hale returned home unexpectedly. What he saw destroyed him. Margaret was having an affair, blinded by rage and humiliation. Robert grabbed his military knife and slashed her mouth open from one side to the other. As she collapsed, bleeding on the floor, he asked her one final question. "Do you still think you're pretty?" Margaret died minutes later, and then she came back asterisk. After her death, the sightings began. A woman wearing a mask, asking the same question Margaret was asked before she died. "Do you think I'm pretty?" Children vanished. Fear spread, until one day, the sightings stopped. No one knows why she left, or where she went. Final warning. But even today, parents in parts of Illinois still warn their children. If you ever see a woman alone at night, wearing a mask, don't talk to her, because if she ever asks you that question, no answer will save your life. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And remember, some questions are better left unanswered.